I first met Agnes through Margaret Krask, and she was very good friends with Margaret Krask and used to study with her, and Margaret Krask was my teacher for 18 years. And Agnes would pop in now and again, and they would just joke around, and Miss Krask had introduced me to her. And then she came and watched a few rehearsals. So that was how I met her. And I've always wanted to do some of her work because I think that in New York, especially now, there's very little of Agnes's things done. Now, around the United States, companies are doing Agnes's things, and certainly, Brigadoon, not so much Paint Your Wagon, but Oklahoma and Carousel, that's being done. Mm-hmm. But in New York, you don't see it, and I think that she's such a major, important choreographer that it should be seen, and seen by young choreographers and young dancers and just everyone. So for her 100th birthday, we decided to do something, and I met Anderson Farrell, who's the director of the Agnes DeMille working group, and he was all for it and has been incredibly supportive, and we've been extraordinarily lucky to have Jemsy DeLapp do all the coaching. And then, of course, we had Sally Wilson for Three Virgins and a Devil. So we've been very lucky to have Agnes's dancers come and stage these works for us. So Andy and I were talking one day, and he said, I would someday love to do a Broadway show about Agnes's life. And I said, well, here we are. Let's start this season. And he was very, very taken aback because this was something in the future that he was planning, but we decided to try. And so he's writing a script, and it's really about Agnes's struggle in a male-dominated field. In those days, it was very male-dominated, and her struggle in bringing her talents to the Broadway stage. And it will have actors, dancers, singers, and a small chamber orchestra. It's very exciting.
Some of the challenges are, in doing Oklahoma or Carousel, not dancing them like a ballerina would. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, depending on what we're rehearsing, Jemsy will even say, don't point your feet.
Sacrilege.
Yeah. Sometimes that's difficult. But it's much easier when you let yourself just become the character.
It's a dancer who can be real, where they're not putting up that facade that they're a ballerina or that they're a dancer, even that they're a person on the stage who happens to be dancing. And you have to be able to tell a story real and naturally, and that every gesture is natural and has meaning. And that's sometimes very hard to find. People that are even willing to do that.
So being receptive is as important to the talent.
And to kind of lose yourself and become a pure instrument for this work. And then let Jemsy come in and coach it, or when Sally was alive, to let her get into you and take what she's saying and leave yourself, if that makes sense.